And we are live. At least I think we're live. It says we're live. I'm going to refresh YouTube and see if it actually worked. So, for those of you who are watching, we're live today on Debbie Codes. And I don't see it. Let's see. We'll refresh. It takes a couple of seconds, I think, to get there. But sometimes, yes, I see it. That means it's working. That's great. I'm just going to open it so I can see the comments. Perfect. Cool. We are here. Now we are fully live. So my voice is still not perfect. For those of you who don't know, I lost my voice in January. Three weeks I couldn't speak. Like, seriously, can you imagine losing your voice or me losing my voice? So it kind of comes and goes a little bit. I can't do any of the high notes, so there's no karaoke. It's a bit of a pity. But yeah, you'll probably hear that it's not exactly perfect, but I will do my best, stay hydrated, and keep going. So what are we going to do today? My plan today is to basically migrate an application from Vue to Nuxt and show you how to do that and what problems you might have, etc. That's the plan, and we hope it works. Hey, Edward, nice to see you, and welcome everyone else that's watching. So let me show you a little bit about what I built earlier. So here we go, right? It's a little game, right? And basically to test you out if you know the knowledge between server and static. So do you know the difference between server and static and when to use one over the other? Let's test your knowledge. So you can choose static. Static is my favorite, for example. So choose static. Let's get started. And we have this game. Are you considered Jamstack? And the static goes, yes, I am. Do you need to set the target in nuxt config? Yes, you need to set it. Which command do you use to build your app for production? In static, we use nuxt generate. Are you production ready files in the dist folder? Yes, they are. And do you have access to rec and res from context? No, you don't. Can you be deployed to Netlify if you're static? Yes, you can. And there you go, you won, and let's play again, right? So that's the game. It's live on nuxt-game.netlify.app. And you're probably thinking, like, I'm going to answer these just really quickly and see, and you can see like the zombie comes over the head and everything. It's really, really cool. Now you're probably thinking, Debbie, you are amazing, but no, I'm not amazing. This is actually stolen from Sarah Drasner. She actually made this game. I just changed the questions and nuxtified it a little bit. But the actual original game can be found here on Sarah Drasner's Building Web Apps with Vue. And I think it's her game solution in this repo here. And this is taken from her front-end master's course where she's building applications with Vue and Nuxt. Amazing, amazing workshop. I highly recommend it. If anyone has access to front-end masters or would like to, definitely worth checking that out. And that's how she'll explain actually how to build a game. I'm not going to explain how to build a game. But yeah, if you want to build a game in Vue, just go on here. And basically, I think this is her one here. So pretty much the same. She just has different kind of crazier questions and it's a little bit different. But other than that, as you can see, I pretty much stole all her work and just nuxtified it. But yes, that's what we're going to do, right? So again, all from Sarah Drasner. So thank you, Sarah. And let's see how we can get this into our application. Right. So what have we got in the chat? We have Nico. Hi, Nico. And BT Cruiser, the bell works, excellent. And Charles, welcome. So welcome all of you. Thank you for joining. This is very cool to have you all here. So we have a Vue application on one side and we have a Nuxt application on the other side. Now the Nuxt app I've literally just created and it's just create Nuxt app and very, very, very simple. Oh, I'm going to say this name wrong. Wei-Yu. Hello, Wei-Yu. If you have any questions along the way, I am going to read the chat as I go along. There's about a 20-second delay, so just remember that when you ask the question, it might take me a little bit of seconds to get it, and then I answer you back, you'll receive it 20 seconds later. So it's a bit annoying. But that's life in the virtual world. Okay, Miguel Alcala is live as well. Yes, Noah, great, yay. Okay, so here we go. And Luke is here. Oh my God, so many people, seriously. Putting me under pressure now. Okay, so we've got the Vue app on one side and we've got the Nuxt one on the other side, right? And I've literally created the Nuxt app, which is create Nuxt app, nothing more. There's nothing in it. It's just what you get out of the box when you use create Nuxt app. The only thing I added was Prettier and ESLint because I love Prettier and ESLint. I've often said before, if you're new to coding or you don't like linters, then don't choose those. And other than that, I haven't chosen anything else. Frederic, and hello, Luke, hello. Okay, so we have over here Sarah Drasner's app, and Yves is in the house. Nice to see you. So Sarah Drasner's app is a Vue application. I'm going to Nuxtify her application. So what do we do? Basically, in Vue, you've got a source folder, and in here you've got assets. Okay, so we need a background, and we also have assets in Nux. So this is as simple as literally copying the background and just putting it into the assets folder, right? So simple enough. That's first thing done. So we now have a background. Now you're not going to see much. Like literally, I've got the application running here. Sarah's is running, and this is all I've got here in Nuxt, right? There's nothing there. Okay, so then we have to basically have a look at components, right? So we have the artist, the baker, the friend. So all these characters here. And if we look at the application that Sarah created, they're the characters here. When you go to the baker, if you were to choose a different character, a mechanic, you get a different character, and you've got this guy here and the artist. So she has 3 characters, and you see they're different, right? So that's what we're basically going to copy over. Hey Joel, the artist, the baker, the friend, and then we have these game start finish, game start state, game state start, and the mechanic, the score, and the zombie. The zombie is what comes and kills you if you're not getting the things right. So I'm just literally going to copy all these, and I don't have a JTS config. Okay, no problem, VS Code, I don't need that. So into my components folder, and again, I'm just copying it over. Simple as that. Components in Vue, components in Nuxt, they're still components. They're Vue components. So that's easily done, right? So pretty much we have copied that over. The only thing now we need to do is the store. So we've got an index.js file here, and we have an empty store in here, an empty folder. Now remember, Nuxt will only activate the store if you actually take the file and put it in it. So if I put this file in here, now my store is going to be activated. But if I don't put a file in there, that folder, there's nothing activated, and the Vuex store is not added. So now I've added the store just by putting that index.js file in there. Hello, one David de Mallorca, and we have Ian. First time catching a live stream, as I'm normally knee deep in a Nuxt Vue or Laravel application. Great to have you here, Ian. Okay, cool. So we've added the store. And now what we need to do is add the application, right? Now I know you're kind of seeing too much going on here, so let's just get rid of the menu here so we can see what's going on. So this is my application, and what we're going to do is basically copy all of this. Pretty much as simple as that, right? We don't need to worry about what's going on here, and we need to copy this into our index file. So in Nuxt, we have the pages folder and we have the index file. And I'll just get rid of the menu for a second. And this is our basic Nuxt index file, right? So we can copy everything, I hope. I literally copy it, and we're going to copy and paste it in here. And we're going to save it. And that's basically in there. Cool. What else do we have to do? In Vue, you have a main.js, and this is literally importing Vue, importing the store. We don't need to do that. That's all okay. It's done by Nuxt, and that's it. So literally now, I should be able to work with my application. Let's have a look and see if it's true. So I'm going to get rid of this one here, and we can come back to it later. Yeah, we'll just delete it, gone. Oh no, now I'm on my own. Now I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen now, right? So if we look at our Nuxt live stream, oh my God, we have like so many errors, right? So this is what happens when you just copy and paste something over, and now you've like, oh, errors everywhere. What am I going to do? So let's kind of fix them. You see what I mean with prettier errors? If you don't want prettier, you can like just turn formatting off or not install prettier, but I'm going to fix those because I like my code to be all the same. So we are ready. We have Nuxtified our Vue application, and we're basically now going to have to fix it. So let's open the terminal. Oi, that's not what I wanted to do. Dun, dun, dun. My fingers are in the wrong position. There we go. So let me just throw that in the bin, and we have here. So now we can kind of see what we're going what's going on and what we need to find, what we need to fix. So first of all, like reading errors is really important because if you can understand the errors, you'll be able to fix things. Now, at first you look and go, oh my God, there's so many errors. What do I do? What do I do? And you freak out and then you kind of just go, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So this is telling me like the dependency was not found, gzap. So gzap is not found, and Sarah uses gzap in her application. That's for the animation. I think it's for the zombie that he comes down. So we need to use gzap. So that's fine. We can just install it. So let's just go here, and we're going to say, I'm going to use yarn. You can use npm and yarn add gzap. Okay, so that's going to install that package for me, and that should get rid of one of my errors. So that's cool. Let's just bring that down and have a look. Okay, so we have a load of errors. Let's have a look at one by one. So let's go to the index file. So we have our index file here, and I could save it, and it's going to tell me the attribute ID should go before the V model. Okay, so these are like stupid errors, right? And sometimes you go, seriously, like ESLint, is this like, you're gonna make my life difficult for this? But it kind of is. So remember, if you're gonna add linters and prettiers, you're gonna have to fix these things, right? It's also telling me on line 161. So see how it tells you exactly what it wants to be done, right? So line 161, it's basically telling me that watch should be above methods. So let's just put it above methods and then we'll be happy, right? Christopher, yay! Good to see you. Good to see you too. Okay, so that's done. Now we've got an unexpected console statement. Okay, yeah, we do. We have a console log in here, and we don't need that, so we can get rid of that. And now I should get less errors. So let's have a look. I mean, it's not compiling. Like, oh, seriously, what's going on here, right? So this is when you kind of, I should actually just, let me just get rid of that one down a little bit more. And I didn't want to split that. Let me just throw the bin. Go away. There we go. That's better. So we got one here. So we've got errors, failed to compile. The relative module was not found. Okay. So how do we fix that one? Relative module. What relative module? Okay. So if we look at the error and we read it, it says type equals style and index and lang equals SCSS. So if we scroll down to our styles, we will see that we are looking for SCSS. And if we look in our package JSON, we do not have SCSS installed, right? So we can either do two things. We can install Sass, or we can just get rid of this. And we can just use post CSS, or we can just use normal CSS. And to be honest, if you look through the code, there's no like kind of real Sass things here, except for like just these little things here, right? So these ones are in the zombie.talk, and you could just install Sass, right? But I'm not gonna install Sass just for these two things. So I'm gonna like paste this here, and this one's zombie talk, then paragraph. So we'll just put that there and put that there, press save. I've got my formatter set up, so it's gonna fix that. So that's great. More errors gone. Yes. Okay, what else do we need to do to fix this? It's now telling me the assets background.svg in node modules, CSS loader dist, and now you're going, oh my God, it's giving me node modules errors, right? But if you kind of read it a little bit, you can really see what's going on. So it's telling me that there's some problem with the background SVG. Okay, cool. So let's have a look at where this background SVG is. So it's called background .svg, and here in the index, so let's open that file. Oh, take away the menu. There we go. So it's basically saying background URL, and as you can see here, I've got this, right? So remember that in Nuxt, we need to use the tilde. Now, normally you would use this, right? Normally you'd use tilde slash and assets, right? If you're going to add an image, but in this particular case, we need no slash because it just works that way. It's a Webpack thing. So remember, if you're doing background URL, if you're using it in CSS, no slash. If you're using it in a normal template, then you'd use the slash, tilde slash assets. Cool, we're still broken. So let's have a look. We now have the error game start finish, stop view, type equals style and lang. Another SCSS, right? We've got another SCSS thing going on. So remember, if you have any questions, just throw them in the chat and I will try and answer them. So we have another SCSS issue. So let's have a look and see if we can find it. Now it's actually telling me that it's in games and we can actually just click that and open it. I mean, just VS Code makes your life easy. So it's saying here. So let's just get rid of that. We don't need that. And if we break some styles, we can fix them later. It's not really a big thing. Okay, cool. Now I'm getting less errors. I've just got 27 problems, 27 errors. So again, like prettier errors can be so annoying. But if you set up your prettier right, I'm just going to press save and it's just going to fix it all for me. Yes, don't you love that? So make sure you have installed the right tools. You can also just turn off formatting here. I've installed a thing to be able to turn off formatting. So you can do that as well. And I'm just going to like literally open these files and save them and it will just kind of like fix those little things. And you can also run like the yarn lint and lint fix, and that will kind of fix them because these are just spacings. Nothing wrong with Sarah Drasner's code, of course, just my settings are different to hers, and that's what you're going to find across projects. Sometimes you may have different settings and that will cause you problems. So are we getting there? No, we're not getting there yet. We're still kind of broken on something. Let's have a look. Score is broken. Okay, cool. And oh, we're nearly there. We're nearly there. The mechanic is broken. Okay, cool. And come on, one more. What do you reckon? Is this the last one? Do you think so? As you can see, I'm just saving the file because I've set up my prettier to set up. And I know this is like the most boring thing you could ever watch, but you're all gonna have prettier errors in your life, so get used to fixing them. Okay, we have client and server ticks, so we are compiled successfully. Let's see if we actually have it up and running and working. Did we do it right? Oh my gosh, hang on a second. Now, I'm getting errors. Oh my god, the Nuxt store index.js should export a method that returns a Vuex instance. What are you telling me here? Like seriously, what am I meant to do with this? So, relax. What we need to do is have a look, and I'm gonna actually just turn that off there so I can see a bit more. So we need to look at the index in the store, right? So this is the store we got from Vue. And as you can see, the first thing you can see here, we're importing Vue from Vue. Now we don't need to do that in Nuxt, right? So we can get rid of that. And we don't need to import the Vuex because Nuxt is doing that for you. So we can get rid of that. And then obviously we don't need to use it. We can get rid of that. So I can save the file, and I'm still getting errors here because now I don't have Vuex, and now I'm actually like starting a new store because I was importing the store and now I don't have access to that. So now I'm kind of stuck, right? Now I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Thanks, Alba. So the best thing to do in these situations, I know you'll all go, oh, seriously, read the docs. Who reads the docs? I wrote the docs. You need to read the docs, right? So let's have a look at the Nuxt docs and let's have a look at the store. Because if you actually use the docs, you'll figure things out. Do I have plans to release videos Nuxt with Firebase in a series? I have no experience with Firebase. Well, I actually do from like 3 years ago at React, but I will check out Firebase. I think we have some cool things coming with Firebase. So I will look into it, but give me time on that one. Okay, so the store in Nuxt activated by putting a file in. And as you can see, this is how you create a store in Nuxt. You export a const of state. With an arrow function and then with whatever your state is. So I'm just going to copy that. You're allowed to copy. Copying in life is very good. And I'm going to paste it in here. And then if you look at what's going on here, in the Vue one, I'm basically like starting the store and then I'm basically stating what the state is, right? But in Nuxt, my state is up here. So I just need to put my actual state. So I just need to copy this. I'm just going to copy it all like so. I'm just going to cut it actually. So you can see it's just the state, and I'm going to get rid of that counter because that was the example. And I'm going to paste it in here. But okay, that is pretty cool. That is my state. Now, if you look, it also says mutations. It's export const mutations, right? So I'm going to copy that because copying from the docs is a great thing to do. Thank you, Yusniel. I'm going to say all your names wrong, so I'm really sorry. I apologize in advance. One day when we meet and have beers, you can correct me and laugh at my pronunciations of names. Now, this is how you build mutations in Nuxt. And if you compare it to Vue, again, I'm starting the store and I don't need to do that because like I already have the store. And you can see my mutations are here. So here's my mutations. So like I just need to delete the example one that I got from the docs and literally take the mutations that I got from Sarah's application and paste it in here. And now I can delete this. Press save. And now let's see if we have any errors. Oh my God. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what tomorrow brings? So let's go back to my local host and let's refresh. And yes, I have a game. Woohoo! So we just migrated a Vue application into Nuxt in just a matter of minutes. Which backend would you recommend to use with Nuxt? Laravel is probably a really great choice, but I don't have a specific, I haven't specifically used any ones, but Laravel and Vue go very good together. A great place to start. And we have a couple of courses actually on, I think, Laravel stuff. Let me just show you quickly on the video. Where am I going, Debbie? On the video courses. Get started with Nuxt and build a job board with Laravel, GraphQL, Nuxt, and Apollo. This course looks really cool. I haven't done it, but I was really interested to do it. So that's what I'd recommend as a place to start at least. So we have our application. Let's see if it works. I'm going to choose to be a baker. I'm going to pick my character. What's your dog's name? So this is Sarah's one, right? As you can see, some crazy questions. I'm getting them all right. Really? Seriously? Yay, I won. Oh my God, without even looking. Do you see that? Artist, pick your character. Bom, bom, like the zombies coming at me. Did you see that? And I lost. Okay, so that's the game and that's it already done. Over to Nuxt. Easy. Now, as you can see, this is the one I made. And what's the difference? I literally like changed the main, the background image. That's the first thing I did was I got rid of that background image that Sarah had and I put my own background image in and I added into here the text. And I basically, instead of using the baker and the mechanic, I chose server and static. How did I do that? So as you can see in here, baker and mechanic. So I just got rid of I got rid of these and I chose two and I chose server and static. And then I was able to like get those. If I go here, localhost, refresh, I get server and static, right? So that's where that's coming from. And I changed obviously. Now you see this is not going to work, right? Because this when you change one thing, you break something else. That's life. So if you're going to change this here, you're going to also have to change the response. So the question is, and now you're going to have to put server, and you're going to have to put static, and the question can be, are you good with the Jamstack? And the server is going to be like, no, I don't like the Jamstack. So you can put the server no, and the static's going to be like, yes, I am so Jamstack. And then you can get rid of the artist because like we're only having two in this case, but like, you know, you could just play around and you can put more in, of course, if you wanted to. So now we have to refresh it each time so it gets the new stuff. So let's go. We want to talk about the server and are you good with the Jamstack? And here we are with a server and we're like, no. And then yeah, I need to fix the rest of the questions, right? But you can see here I've lost my little guy is gone. Oh no. So my server is there, my guy is gone. Now that's because the SVGs actually have a ID and I've basically now called my character a server and static, and that's not really the character. So I'm going to have to actually go into the baker, for example. I think the baker's not being used. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. And I'm just going to call him static. And the mechanic, I'm going to call him server, right? So now I should get a character. If I refresh and answer that first question, pick your character, and it doesn't work. Oh my God. It should work. Why does it not work? Seriously? Let's have a look. I haven't got a server. Let's see if I get a static because I have 3 characters here and I'm not, no, none of them are there. So they should work under server, under static, but I might have to refresh the server. So let's do that in a second. Let me show you something else that is really cool. I'm going to clean up a little bit of the components, right? So as you can see here, we are importing the score, importing baker, importing a friend, importing artist, importing zombie, mechanic, game start, etc. And then we have all our components, and that's what you need to do in Vue, right? So we're fully aware of that, and then we can use our components, okay? But in Nuxt, we don't need any of this, so we can actually just delete it. Yes, get rid of all that, and we can actually just delete the components. Yes, get rid of all that. And now my app's a little bit cleaner, and it should work. We will find out soon if it does work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open the terminal, and I'm going to just restart it just so that I can make sure my characters are actually coming in, because otherwise it would be a bit of a problem. Sometimes when you change like the names and IDs of something, it doesn't fully show up. So let's see, another question in the chat. Check out Laravel Sanctum. It might cover what you need if you only need the Laravel application to serve an API. Great advice there, Ian. Thank you. Eric, I'm wonderful. Oh, thank you. I love being wonderful. Yes, this is a Vue 2 application, Sassy. I can't really take Vue 3 and put it into Nuxt yet. I have to wait for Nuxt 3 to come out, so that's coming soon. Until then, we have to still work with Vue 2 in Nuxt. But yeah. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Let's have a look in our localhost. I'm just going to refresh it, and I'm going to choose server, and I'm not getting my characters here at all. So this is a bit of an issue. Now, one of the reasons why it's an issue is if I look at my application, I'm basically saying, let me see if I can find it in the index. I'm basically using an is character, right? I'm basically using a component is character, and this is a dynamic. Yay, Danny's in the house, woohoo! So because this is dynamic, and we didn't install it, we removed all the installs, it's actually not going to show. Let's have a look if I put these back. Let's see if I can get these characters, because they weren't there before. Let's see if they actually come back, because I really need them to be there so I can fix them, because, and he's still broken. Seriously? You should not be broken. So the character has gone completely, and I have to figure out why he's gone. So if I look at my artist, I've done the ID equals artist. Let me put in, I shouldn't have an artist because I got rid of the artist. I have a mechanic. Mechanic is now a server, and the baker is now static, so they should actually work. And where else do I have the word baker? Importing baker, okay, index baker. So the only other things are here, and these we can literally we can just copy these over. That means we get rid of our baker. Our questions are a bit stupid, but that's fine. But at least then it won't break, and it won't be looking for the baker and the artist, etc. And okay, so now my code is correct in this sense. I'm using server as my character and static as my character, which is a terrible character. But can you see the mistake here? Right? I'm not getting my baker, my mechanic, and it's just not showing up. It's like, come on. And the reason is because the file name is used, right? It's loading the component based on the file name, and I've called my component mechanic and baker. So I actually need to change this. So let's just do it here. To change this to be the name I want it to be. So this one is going to be server, right? And the other one is the baker. We're going to change the baker to be static. So if I'm renaming this, now I should get it. I should get it. Micho, nice to see you. Line 20. Yeah, line 20. No, just because you have to rename them. That's pretty much it. So now I've got errors. Okay, let's just refresh that. And it's like, oh my God, it failed, right? Because I've just renamed the components. Nuxt is going to have a little hissy fit, and it's going to say, I don't know what component you want. But also, it's not just that. I'm importing a mechanic, and there's no mechanic, right? So We'll leave that there open so we can see what's going on. And let's go back to our index, and we can basically, well, we can change this if we wanted to, right? We can just say import the baker. Well, we're not using the artist, so let's get rid of the artist, right? And I'm going to get rid of this in a second, but I just want to show you it works first. So we're going to say, what is he? Server, import server from server. We call it server on import. I'm probably doing the wrong one because I didn't even look. Import static. I never do import statements. I'm so like, you know, used to Nuxt where we don't need to do this. So I'm like, oh my God, this is too much work. And if we look up here, we don't have a mechanic or anything like this because it's using the is. It's a dynamic component. So it's loading the component based on the character. That's where that's coming from. So there's no, you won't find a baker component or anything like that. So that should work. Let's have a look if Nuxt does that. I'm getting my lovely arrows and refresh. And let's have a look. Is my character there? Is my character there? Yes, I've got my character. Okay, so now, like I said, the character is working, and I'll just, what am I on this server? Let's just make sure the static one is there as well, that I got them both. Great, 2 beautiful characters. Excellent. So now I can show you, again, let me get rid of that. I can show you how in Nuxt we don't need to import all these components, right? You can see we're importing all these. So let's get rid of it, and I'm going to show you that it still works. Dun dun dun, dun dun dun. Don't need that either. Get rid of it. Goodbye. And Nuxt just does it all for me, and it's so much nicer, isn't it? And let's have a look. And does it work? Refresh. Click the game, server, pick your character. Oh my gosh, he's gone. Seriously, why is he gone? Okay, so now this is a little kind of thing that you have to look out for. When you're working with dynamic components, so is dynamic is here. Yeah, this component is dynamic. So Nuxt doesn't know which one you want to import because there's no reference to it. So it's kind of like going, well, I don't know what you want. So we can manually import them if we wanted to. Now there is another way to do it. And let me see if I can copy this over so I can show you from the docs. And this is the documentation for the dynamic components. And it basically says that what you need to do is in the Nuxt config file, we need to put the path global true, right? We need to put the path global true, and we need to put whatever dynamic components we want into a dynamic folder or whatever we want to call it, right? So I need to copy this over. And let me see. And we need to go back to our application. Here we go. And we need to go to the Nuxt config. So Nuxt config, and we need to look for our components true. So all components true is basically saying we want to auto import the components because we don't want to write all the import statements. And let me just paste it underneath to show you. So basically, there we go, and save. So basically now we've got 2 components, right? This is going to say we got components twice, duplicate key. So we don't need components true because, you know, if you're putting this here, you're putting in the path, etc., then that's all you need to do. So now I have this dynamic folder, and what I need to do is in components, I need to create that here, dynamic, and I need to put in where are my lovely characters, my server and static character. Now I could have actually left them as baker and whatever and change things, but I'm going to put them in here into my dynamic, move it in there. There we go. And now if I save my Nuxt config, it will probably be a better idea. And now it should work. Now remember, sometimes when you change the Nuxt config, breaks. No, it doesn't break. Let's go. Server. Let's see, do we have our character? Do we have our character? What do you think? 1, 2, 3, bam, yay! We got our character. So there we have our server character. And, you know, let's just change it to the static character. Bam, bam, and there we go. So, hi, Justine, Aaron. As we go on, we remember all the times we spent together. As our lives change from whatever we will still friends forever. Oh, Aaron, that's so beautiful. Okay, and that's pretty much how you transfer or migrate your Vue app to Nuxt. And like literally, as I said, you can just find the text and change it and The text is pretty much in the components, so you can literally go in here and you can change, you won, you lost, you can change the text to whatever you want. So you can just kind of change and say, I just did this and it's cool, right? And you can save that, and then you'll just get that in your game when you refresh. No, that's the real game. There we go, this one here. And I just did this and it's cool, right? So you can see here, this is how to do it, and this is it live. This is the Nuxt one. Let's just play the Nuxt one once, and let's go with server, and let's get started in server. Are you considered Jamstack? And the server says, what's the server say? The server says, no, the server's not Jamstack, right? Okay. Do you need to set the target in the Nuxt config? No, it's the default value, or yes, you need to set it. This is an interesting question. If I am server, if I want to do server-side rendering, do I need to set the target in the Nuxt config? No, it's the default value. Yes. Which command do you use to build an app for production? That's my bad spelling. That should be your app, not you app, but there you go. So you need to use nuxt build if you're using the server. And are you production ready files in the dist folder? And the answer is no. And as you can see, like I've got something highlighting the right answer, so I should fix that. Do you have access to rec and res from context? Yes, you do. So if you want to cheat, you can actually do that. I might fix that and then deploy it. But yes, can you be deployed to Netlify? No, and yes, I won the game. So again, nuxt-game.netlify.app if you want to play the game. If you want to build the game, just go to debbie.code so you can get my repo, you can download it, and then you can Nuxtify it. And if you want to do this exercise yourself, which I highly recommend you do, just go to Sarah Drasner's Building Web Apps with Vue, go to her repo and download it. It's called Game Solution. Take that repo and then try it yourself and migrate it to Nuxt, and see all the problems that you're coming across and fix them. And it's good fun. It's good fun to migrate from Vue to Nuxt and kind of understand how Nuxt works. And yeah, remember, I recommend building applications with Vue and Nuxt from Sarah Drasner, and that will teach you actually how to build it and how the store works and how the actual game is built. And that's it. That's pretty cool. We're not going to play again. We have finished. Oh, so yeah, I really hope you liked it. Do a video on Nuxt page transitions and loading bar kind of subtle things. Yeah, I can do that. I'll put that into my to-do list. I hope you liked that. Thank you, Step. Thank you, Abdejali. Thank you, Venki. Thank you, Yusniel. And everyone else that's been here and watching. I really appreciate you being here. And it's so glad to be back. I'll try and come up with more fun and cool things over the next couple of weeks and see what we come up with. And that is it. Have a great day. Have a great afternoon. Have a great evening. Have a great morning, depending on what part of the world you are in. And yeah, keep building cool, fun things with Nuxt. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.